Hi everybody, Foxy here, and welcome to my next episode of Fox Bites. This is a show where I do little tidbits on things that I find interesting and other things, usually without a script, so you just get to hear me talk about stuff. And today I'm doing an unboxing because I hear that's what the internet likes to see. And if you know me, or if you have watched my videos before, you probably have noticed that I like hats. And my birthday happened recently, so I bought myself a new hat for my birthday. And I'm going to unbox it and do a review. And I normally buy my hats from Grassroots, California, and this is not a sponsored video. I'm going to be talking about these companies because it is kind of relevant to the topic at hand. And I, because apparently marketing works, bought a hat from a new company based in Colorado called Nomadic Movement. Similar kind of thing. They do these like artist collaborations. So this is my first Grassroots hat that I got at Shambhala Music Festival 2017 here in BC, and it's their special edition for that festival. So it's like a cool snapback, and I really loved it, and so I started buying my hats after that. And then on Instagram, I was followed by this company, and I liked a couple of their designs, so I thought I would buy one and try it out. And this is kind of a story of that saga. So before I open this box, the packing slip here, I noticed something interesting, is that they sent me a hat and it says Sunnies. There's a pair of sunglasses, and I'm not going to dox myself. And I went and double checked, and I definitely didn't order sunglasses, so what's up with that? Well, as you can see, there's also a US postage paid $37.58 on this package, or $85, and that's a lot for postage, and this is kind of what I'm going to talk about today. So let's open this and find out if there are indeed sunglasses in here that I did not order, and I know there are because I opened this box once to make sure, and then I sealed it again. Full disclosure. I had a mystery to unravel, so sue me. Okay, so yes, there are indeed the pair of sunglasses. So here they are. They're actually really nice. They've got these like hand-carved wooden handles, laser engraved with their fancy logo. I'll get that really close. They're nice. They're 400 UV, good quality. They're lightweight. They're very nice sunglasses, but they look kind of very square, and I don't like square sunglasses. They make me look like a surfer dude or like a hockey bro, and I am not either of those things. I'm gonna put that there. There's a bag for them. I'm going to probably gift those on to a friend. I'm definitely going to gift those on to a friend, but it was nice of them to send them, and I think the reason why is that that's a $30 value, and that was the additional cost of postage that I had to pay to get this thing here, and I think the company felt bad. Anyways, here's the hat. This is the Todd bought hat from Nomadic Movement. And I love the color scheme. I love the design. It's got a double snapback, whereas like even my Grassroots run has a single snapback. And the more hair I have, the more support my snaps need. I need to get hair. And both these hats, the Grassroots hats and the Nomadic Movement's hats, have stash pockets. This one has one on either side, I think. Some stash pockets in the hat. I love pockets. It's one of the hardest things to give up with girl clothes. I do not like it. Anyways, great inside of the hat design as well, under the brim. And I'm going to pull that out and try it on. So here's the thing about this. Both of these hats are the same price. They cost $50 US, approximately. And both of these hats are made from companies that are approximately the same distance away from me. And both of these companies are doing business in the same market. And I have to pay about $7, $7 to $10 for a Grassroots product to get here. I had to pay almost $40 US for shipping here, and that kind of sucks. So what is a leftist content creator basically giving free advertising to two companies that create and exploit culture for profit. Well, first of all, I like nice things, and I don't think that we would not have nice things in a world where, workers own the means of production and we cared about stuff like negative externalities and we were making sustainable products and things like that. I think we'd have more artist collaborations, and in my perfect world, we wouldn't have borders stopping this kind of stuff from happening and costing me lots of money for totally arbitrary reasons, or like time or effort or connection or whatever, if we're going to go with a society without money and some wonderful post-market utopia. But even more to the point, like, having these kind of things aren't created in my community. We just don't have the resources, and part of the reason is because there's an artificial border and there are corporations protecting their market share that prevent other people from entering the market in a meaningful way, or producing artwork like this in a meaningful way that can be fairly and freely distributed to people. And that's really what I care about. So that's why I'm doing this, because people like watching unboxings, and I like hats, and we'll still need hats, and we'll still need art when we have a revolution. So let's at least be beautiful. So yeah, some of the other things that I kind of wanted to talk about on this are about who controls the means of production and how that's manipulated by our national borders. Like, Canada is primarily a resource exporter, which is why our currency is lower than countries like the UK, the US, and most other places that we want to be buying the natural resources that are produced here. We don't really produce a lot of finished products across the country, which is kind of a problem, in my opinion. And largely we're governed by corporations, which isn't a surprise, but it's different than it is in the United States. There's a lot more near monopolies, and because of the smaller population, a lot less competition. And the Canadian government protects that fiercely because it profits the top members of our society, and they've always been worried, and that's kind of one of the driving forces behind what makes Canada a country in the first place. And that is the fact that there's this massive concern that Canada will be swallowed up by the United States culturally and economically, and in the past, militarily. So, like, the country was formed on the basis of the concern that all of the territory that is now Canada would be settled and then made states of the Union by American settlers if it weren't put into a national body. And it was the Dominion of Canada, and those former colonies have grown into this country that is based on kind of a corporate oligarchy protecting the interests of the people who founded the country to exploit its resources and the resources of its people. So it's got a really bureaucratic government that reflects a corporation, which isn't a surprise because the whole venture was based on a crown corporation model, which is why you have a history of crown corporations in the legal and economic history of Canada, playing a major role, especially in this province of British Columbia. Super fascinating stuff. And so I'll do way more on this later. This is just like a tidbit on why the Canadian-US border and business across it is such a pain in the ass sometimes, is mostly because Canada is worried about two things. Being able to sell things on a global market, being competitive, selling natural resources to a global market, where their biggest trading partner is the United States, but also that they are worried that the United States is going to just take them over because America. And there's good reason to be concerned about that, and especially in, say, culture, most of the television and musical media that you get up here is from the United States. And there are laws saying that you need 50% of your content to be Canadian created. And there's lots of ways to get around that, and that's why Hollywood sometimes will hire Canadian stars, or people who have dual citizenships, because if you put that person in front of a camera, you can get by a lot of things with regards to Canadian laws around Canadian content, and get them on TV here and still sell that product in the United States. And Canadian broadcasters, so I do film and television work on the side, sort of. I write and make short films and things that are not for YouTube occasionally. And that industry here is totally governed by what happens in the United States. And Canadian broadcasters are very not interested in, generally speaking, creating Canadian content because people are consuming stuff from the United States. They treat it as like a penalty that they have to create local or create Canadian content creators and develop them, whereas they would rather just get as much stuff as they can from the United States and go that way. So yeah, there's like this really fascinating cultural tension between the US and Canada, and it manifests in things like me paying $40 extra for a nice hat, and there's a push on the Canadian side to be protectionist towards Canadian retailers. Then on the other hand, there's twice as many products at half the price in the United States, and since most of the Canadian population lives within 50 miles of the US border, cross-border shopping was like a national sport for a long time. Now our currency really sucks, so we don't have the same kind of buying power that we used to have. But it's still like more cost effective to drive into the US if you live right next to the border to buy things like gas, dairy products. There's a robust business of bed and breakfasts and PO boxes where Canadians will buy products in the US and have them sent and then drive themselves across the border to pick up those products, because trying to get them sent that extra couple kilometers will cost them $40. I don't have that kind of access to a vehicle or reliable access to the United States, just due to reasons of financial poverty. But most middle-class Canadians do those things. And what I find fascinating is that Grassroots is coming from California. I'm ordering them there, and some other products that I've ordered from California that are coming up here now have been charged way less duty. When they used to be getting price tags like this, they're now getting like $7 or $8, and this one from Colorado is getting a $37 price tag. So it seems like even state by state or region by region there are differences, and Trump has totally run roughshod over all of this anyways. Borders suck, corporations suck. I really just want to be able to get like nice things and not have to worry that we're screwing over the entire world for that to happen so that people can make profit. I just want to be able to, have artists collaborating to make nice hats in my community so that I can have nice hats and a strong community with the production in the hands of the workers. So anyhow, that's my unboxing on FoxxTales for my Toddbot hat from Nomadic Movement. Again, unsponsored. I'll probably not be buying from them again just because of the shipping costs so much, which sucks because this is a really nice hat. It's super comfy. It's more comfortable and out of the box than some of the Grassroots hats that I've ordered, which I have a lot of, and I'll post a picture of those on Instagram with this one. And I think that's it. Check out my Twitter and my Instagram at Foxfire. And there's Patreon that's kind of soft launching. I'll post more about it later. Bye.